Driver number 78, Martin Truex Jr. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, great to be here today.
All right, we're going to go straight to the floor here. So raise your hands and keep them up for a little bit so our runners can spot you, and we'll try to get to as many folks as possible. Ashley is sprinting right now. So.
Hey, Martin, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. How do you think things are going to change this year now that Furniture Row's got a second car?
I thought there'd be started off with a different topic today, but I think we're all excited about it. I don't know how much things will change. I think we're all optimistic that it won't change a whole lot, and that's kind of been the goal. Cole and our guys have been, really a big part of the process of finding the people for the 77 team, helping kind of put that team together in hopes that it'll keep the overall mindset and work ethic the same as what we've had. So I don't know that it'll change a whole lot. At least, going in, we're hoping it doesn't. We're hoping it just adds to, adds positives to our program, and we have more good people to lean on and more things to build off of to continue to move our team forward. We've grown a lot in the last 2.5, 3 years, and hopefully it just continues in an upward direction.
Let's go over here to Lewis.
Louis Frank of Reuters, to your left. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
In that same vein, you got two more young guns now in Toyotas. More information or more competition for you?
Well, it's always both, I guess. I mean, it's always you try to use all that information and kind of put it all together, and then it's competition on the racetrack. We all race each other as hard as we race everybody else on the racetrack, and try to go for those wins and be up front each and every weekend. So it's a little bit of both. It's exciting, I think, always to get a young, fresh perspective on a lot of things. And I think for me personally, especially with Eric being, in-house team car, just giving back a little bit of what I've been given from other teammates in the past, veteran teammates. Guys like Mark Martin, Dale Jr., Michael Waltrip, that I kind of came up through the ranks racing with. So I'm a little bit on the other side of that, for the first time in my career. So that's going to be fun, and it's exciting for me, and looking forward to it.
Let's go right here to Darren.
Dale McFadden with NBC Sports. With Eric Jones coming into his first full-time season, what do you remember about the months or weeks leading up to the 2006 season, which was your first full-time season? Like, what weighed on your mind then, and who did you turn to for advice in that time period right before that?
If I remember, I was pretty relaxed really about it all, and had a lot of confidence coming off 2 Xfinity championships, and boy was I woke up quick. It was a lot more difficult than I anticipated, than I expected. When we did it, we came up and we moved our whole Xfinity team up to the Cup Series, and it was a big step. So we were definitely surprised by a lot of things. I'm sure it's still the same today. Coming from that level to the Cup Series is just a huge jump that you really can't be prepared for until you get a taste of it. So, for these guys, Eric's had some seat time in the Cup cars. He's got a little bit of a taste of it, so I think he's probably a little more familiar. Daniel's going to be surprised probably a little bit more. But all in all, they are, both talented drivers, and look forward to seeing what they can do.
As great as you guys ran all of last season, I'm over here, Martin. As great as you guys ran all of last season, how hard was it? How long did it take you to get over not being able to win that championship last year?
I don't think we're over it yet, and that's a good thing because we're hungry and we're going to try to go out and get it done this year. We worked hard last year. We had a lot of great moments, and feel like it slipped away from us at a bad time. So we're out for revenge, I guess you could say, this year, and we're working hard, and we're motivated to go out and do a better job and make sure we can get further in the deal this year and hopefully win our first championship.
Let's go back here to Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Martin, did you see the Carl Edwards news coming at all? And with Daniel moving into that seat, how do you think that changes the dynamic of the Toyota effort?
Yeah, I didn't see it coming. No, I always thought Carl would be, be like Mark Martin, race till he was 50 or so. Just definitely was surprised by it. But it's definitely going to change the dynamic. Taking away one veteran guy that's been around a long time, has had a lot of success, and really had a lot to bring to the group and to the discussions that we had when we talked about competition in cars and how to go fast and do those things. So It's definitely going to be a little different. But again, I think, I'm excited about it. We've got a lot of talent still in that group, and hopefully we'll be able to all pull together and make it happen again.
Other questions for Martin? Right here.
Martin, I don't know if anybody asked you about your crew chief when you first came in or not, but how instrumental has Cole Pern been to what you've been able to accomplish? Because you've worked with several crew chiefs coming up through the ranks.
Well, I mean, I've had more success with Cole than I have with anyone else. So, I mean, he's huge, obviously a huge part of what we've done. And just since, he was given the crew chief position on the 78 car, we've just gelled and we've had this chemistry that's worked really well for us. So crew chiefs are such a big part of what we do. Obviously, the whole race team is such a big part of what we do. You can't do it alone. I mean, obviously it's a huge team effort, but a crew chief really leads the way for the whole team. The way the cars are built back at the shop, the way they're prepared, the way the team approaches the weekend, and how you get speed out of your cars is all really led and dictated by the crew chief and the engineers. So Cole has been a huge part of my career, getting to where it's at the last few years, obviously. And, I think he's a guy that if we can continue to stay together, we can continue to get better. He's a really impressive guy. He's so motivated and so determined to be the best there is, and that's what it takes in this sport. So I'm very lucky to have him as a crew chief, and hopefully I'm holding up my end of the deal.
We'll go over here to David and then to Stan.
David Scott from the Charlotte Observer. Hey, Martin. What's going to be the most challenging thing about the new point system for you all to kind of get figured out?
I don't think it's going to be a huge challenge. I think it's, we kind of understand where it is. I think everybody's excited about it. I know I am. The racing for points mentality kind of comes back into play a little bit as far as, you get points throughout the whole season, and, being able to take those into the playoffs is really exciting for us, with coming off a year like we had last year where we did a lot of great things and had a lot of high moments, a lot of bright spots that we could have gained those bonus points that would have helped us in the playoffs. That would have been huge. So I think we're excited about it. I'm sure there's going to be some things along the way that we didn't foresee that we'll need to figure out. But, all in all, looking forward to it. There's a lot of positives in it for us, and I think it'll be a benefit to our race team in particular.
All right, we'll wrap this session up with Stan.
Stan Creekmore with Outside the Box, Martin. You don't strike me as a driver who really sees any challenge. You're a top 10 finisher anyway, from the point standpoint. But in looking at it, which track do you think will be the one where you'll have to work even harder to get as many of those points as you possibly can get?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think all of them are important. You want to score the most you can every single weekend. But we want to win every race. We want to win every practice. We want to qualify first every week. That's what we strive for. That's what we go for each and every weekend. So I don't think it's, we don't single anything out. I think for us, our race team individually, I think the Martinsville and what's the other one in there? I'm trying to think of the spot in the playoffs that we always kind of are right on the fence in, and probably isn't the best spot in the schedule for us. So around Martinsville in the fall, Charlotte and Kansas, those tracks we need to perform better at than we have to make.
Wait a minute, you led all but like 6 laps at Charlotte in the 600, so that
in the first race,
yeah, okay,
second one. So need to be better in the fall at Charlotte.
Well, Martin, thanks for your time. Best of luck this year.
Thank you. Yep, no problem.
Thank you.